Welcome viewers to the Saturday, February 24th edition of To It For News. I'm Jacka Wooding bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with news that a police pursuit on Wednesday in Tortola resulted in the arrest of 3 male suspects. According to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, officers attempted to stop a suspicious vehicle traveling towards East End. However, the driver refused to comply and instead accelerated to flee from the police. A chase ensued as officers pursued the suspects. The vehicle was finally halted successfully in Param Town, enabling police to apprehend the 3 male occupants. The suspects were transported to the Road Town Police Station for further questioning regarding the incident. An investigation is currently ongoing. Further updates will be provided pending the results of that investigation. In other news, the House of Assembly of the Virgin Islands has appointed a special select committee of the House of Assembly dubbed the Reform Committee. The guiding resolution for the committee was recently gazetted and was laid in the House of Assembly by Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley.
This committee was constituted in the last House of Assembly, and with the dissolution of the House of Assembly, it needed to be reconstituted in this new House. And of course, Commission of Inquiry has certainly been a hot topic for the last few weeks. And it is important, and I believe the members of the House have indicated that they want to be better apprised of what is happening as it pertains to the details of the implementation of the recommendations. So we have a committee, which is an obligation we agreed to under the framework agreement for the implementation of the COI report recommendations and other reforms. And I do think it's fitting that the House has a committee where it can be briefed on Commission of Inquiry matters, and we can have in-depth discussion about legislation which will be coming to the House of Assembly for debate. For members of the opposition and backbenchers wouldn't have an opportunity to engage with some of these pieces of legislation which come to the House of Assembly through ministries and through cabinet.
The members of the committee are Speaker of the House, Honorable Corinne George Massacott, who will chair, and members, Honorable Dr. Natalia Wheatley, Honorable Sherry De Castro, Honorable Carl Dawson, Honorable Ronnie W. Skelton, Honorable Stacey Mather, and Honorable Marlon Penn. Leader of the opposition, Honorable Ronnie Skelton, rose briefly in the House to support the move.
Madam Speaker, I am happy that we are moving this motion now to get this committee in place. I know the Premier doesn't have, he has a lot of time on his hand that he thinks it's important for himself, who is supposed to be driving this stuff from the government side, to be in this committee. I think the framework, when I saw the framework briefly, I had a visit with the governor a couple of days before he left to wish him Godspeed. And I turned to the governor and asked him, why didn't you approach the opposition and let them know what was going on? At least we could have had a discussion with the government and push the agenda forward. And then he pulled out the framework agreement and showed me that there is supposed to be a committee of the House to look after the implementation of the COI recommendation. And I was extremely surprised, so I had to basically back off of my position. But I am glad now that this committee is here, because now we all, both sides, this stuff is so important to the development of the country. The COI is hindering the development of the country and making it more difficult for the country to make progress.
Honorable Sherry De Castro also rose to support the committee, but took the opportunity to call for consideration for all political parties to be represented on the committee.
So, Madam Speaker, I look forward to serving on this committee. But I just wanted to raise, in keeping with the amendment just made, so that's one step in the right direction. I note that Standing Order 79-1 states that every select committee shall be so constituted as to ensure, so far as is possible, that the balance of parties in the House is reflected in the committee. And so when I saw the resolution first on the order paper, I noted that it only has 2 political parties represented. And I just want to encourage my colleagues in the House. No, I'm saying currently on the committee, as in the resolution printed in the order paper, there are 2 political parties represented. So I just want to encourage my colleagues. I know we've had robust discussion and debate surrounding ensuring equality of representation, and I believe when we look on the other select committees in the House, we would see representation in this regard, and I just think it's something that is a good precedent that has been set, and in keeping with us cooperating and all standing in support, in solidarity of the recommendations and advancing it, I want to encourage my colleagues in the House of Assembly on the opposition side to put themselves forward to sit on this committee and assist the current members to move forward the agenda in keeping with our commitment for reform.
Also from the House of Assembly's recent sittings, District 2 Representative, the Honorable Melvin Turnbull, has bemoaned the continued use of what he described as a band-aid approach to addressing issues affecting public infrastructure, particularly in areas with heavy tourism traffic. These
band-aid fixes that they're done to make the places and facilities functional. When we are dependent so heavy on a tourism product, Premier, it cannot be acceptable. It cannot be that we're just doing the bare minimum. If we fix them correctly and if we fix them properly, we don't have to worry about them for a long time.
At the time, Turnbull was seeking answers from Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley on progress in repairing the bathroom facilities in Jos Van Dyke and Cane Garden Bay. Turnbull said he was saddened by the responses provided to the Premier on these matters, which included claims that the issues at the restrooms had already been addressed.
Madam Speaker, it is impossible that the restroom issues at Jos Van Dyke restroom facilities have been fixed. And I know that's the answer provided to the Premier. So what I will do, Premier, for you is I would send you the pictures of what the restroom facility looked like. I won't send them to you on public yet. I'm going to send them to you privately. Because the restroom facility has not been remodeled. This is connected to the Albert Chinnery Administration building. And while we spent some hundreds of thousands of dollars after the hurricane to get the building up, we did absolutely nothing for the restroom. But that's the only public facility for tourists. It is in deplorable conditions, Premier. But tourists are using it as well as the persons that walk in and around the area. It needs some urgent attention, and it don't need fixing the hinges on the toilet or the stopper for the water. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a complete overhaul to present to guests.
And viewers of that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Start the year off with more speed, more downloading, more savings, and more fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI, CCT Fire, and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Across the BVI, the fastest, most reliable, and affordable fiber internet service is here for you. Look out for fire in these new locations: Slaney, Duff Bottom, Manual Reef, Seacows Bay, Albion, Hannah's, Palestina, Pleasant Valley, and Havers. Fiber is in your area. Call 444-4444 or visit a CCT store to find out more and bring it home. More locations coming soon.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. The BVI basketball fraternity is banding together to return structure and support to the sport amid concerns of the purportedly debunked leadership body of the BVI Basketball Federation. More in this report. A team from 284 Media, including myself, recently sat in on a meeting of the basketball fraternity as its membership came together to discuss the future of the sport and its leadership body in the British Virgin Islands. Following the meeting, we spoke with Joash Victor, who described himself as a concerned citizen who is currently championing the interests of the fraternity and efforts to bring forth an overdue election.
Currently in the basketball community, there has been a lot of dysfunction and miscommunication happening within members of the executive body. And, as a result, there have been a standstill within the basketball community, meaning when it comes to the developing and governing of the sport. Unfortunately, due to this miscommunication, it had come to this, meaning the basketball stakeholders and the basketball community members, well, they're, lack of a better word, fed up. So as a result, we have petitioned for intervention from the BVI Olympic Committee to reach out to FIBA to get instructions on the way forward. The current basketball federation, they approached the BVI Olympic Committee already, but they dropped the ball there. And as a result, I was advised to go to CBC by the BVI Olympic Committee president himself, Mr. Ephraim Penn, for those who may not know. So upon doing that, we were able to communicate. I was able to communicate with the president of the CBC, Mr. Collymore, Leslie Collymore, and he advised me on how to go about. As a result, that's what we did tonight at the meeting that we had tonight at the stakeholders meeting, was to convey that information so that there's a level of transparency and integrity in establishing a new federation.
Victor described the meeting as a pleasant step in the right direction, which will hopefully lead stakeholders down a fruitful path. He expressed satisfaction with the attendance of the meeting, both in person and virtually, and participation by the stakeholders.
The important individuals that needed to be in attendance were there, and that's the most important thing. Whether you're the stakeholders, basically, and they participated extremely well. They all put forth their suggestions. We all came to a common agreement on what's to be done going forward. So look out for that, actions being taken, and that will be communicated to the public as well for transparency purposes.
The ultimate goal, he said, is to establish a new basketball federation, stating that the hope is to undergo the correct democratic process.
So the ultimate goal is to establish a new basketball federation. That is the ultimate goal. One that is trustworthy, one that is transparent, one that is gonna get the job done, for lack of a better word. That is what we're trying to do. And we want it to be done with in a democratic process, meaning that was advised by FIBA, Mr. Collymore himself, to ensure that it's done in a democratic process per the Constitution established. And individuals know the Constitution needs some work. However, we have to work with what is there. It's the Constitution. And we can work with what is there. And that's what we're going to do.
He stressed that the process underway is imperative to the development and continued growth of basketball in the BVI.
This is an integral process because without the any governance, what a society can lead to. And that's what we've been lacking, unfortunately. But however, when that is resolved, then we have governance. We have not only governance, but we have individuals who are tasked with the development of basketball in the territory. Not just government, but developing the sport, which in turn will lead to, as you can see, with a structure that was previously established, that could be built upon tremendously. And to the fact that we were able to produce Mr. Demoy Hodge and other Errol Penn and Leslie and all these guys without that structure, imagine what we can do when the structure is there. The future is great.
Considering concerns regarding the leadership of the Basketball Federation, 284 Media saw it fit to reach out to incumbent President Derek Varlak. In a brief call, he indicated that he would not like to comment on the matter. Jacques Wooding, 284 News.
And viewers, with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. 284 Media proudly presents The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman with yours truly, Ron Grant, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not all about suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 5, a 284 Media production.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually...
Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites. It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. USVI track sensation Michelle Smith cemented herself as the world's #1 under-20 400-meter hurdler with a dominant showing at the Louis Bing Invitational in Miami last weekend. Smith smashed the 400-meter hurdles meet record twice, running 57.11 in the semifinals before lowering it to 56.82 in the final, the fastest time ever run by a high schooler in Florida. Smith's remarkable performance also makes her the world lead in the event among under-20 athletes this year. Smith added to her weekend haul with a silver in the 100-meter hurdles and gold in long jump at 5.64 meters. Her outstanding results earned her the Most Valuable Athlete award. In other news, Trinidad and Tobago took home the prize of Best of Show at the first annual Caribbean Baking Awards last weekend. More in this report.
After a day of intense baking among the 9 contestants from across the Caribbean, it was Trinidad and Tobago which caught the top prize of Best of Show at the first annual Caribbean Baking Awards, thanks to contestant Dexter Cambridge. Dexter's cake, which was entitled Queen of Bacchanal, paid homage to Trinidadian soca artist Destra Garcia and also earned him the grand prize of US $2,000.
That's what I thank the Almighty for having me here, and I thank my team. My mom, my dad didn't make it. My sister who eats all the sugar. I want to thank everyone who voted and supported me through our thick and thin. I want to support everyone who had participated, because without the Caribbean making a wedding, we have no us to be recognized. Yes! So give us a clap. Everyone who had made this reality for me.
Taking first place in the competition was Dominica, with a cake produced by Akim Ishmael that represented the culture and history of his island. Ishmael also won the Cake Hero Award and was a joint winner of the Rising Star Award.
So I just want to say thank you to... Okay, plus one. Okay, well, they can come on the cruise ship, you know. Alright, so I just want to say thank you to everyone who come out. In one way or the other, you made this possible, and I cannot leave my team out. They were very supportive. When I reached out to them, they said, yes, I'm on board with you, especially Jody, because we work very well together. She's a cake artist as well. Countless nights we are up 3 o'clock in the morning, up until 6 o'clock. We are still doing cakes together. So I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you, Jody, and I hope that we can do many more together.
Second place went to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which was represented by Jessica Best, who also copped the Best Painted Cake Award.
After having experimenting, my biggest critic is my sister. She's in Guyana now. And she will tell me, "Girl, where you going with that?" I watched a peace tree the other day and I said, you know what, I'm going to try breadfruit cake and I'm going to try a peas filling. And somebody said to me, "Girl, will you just come up with some of them takes?" And then I said, you know what, I'm going to do my tamarind. Anybody had my tamarind cake yet? And how was my tamarind sauce? You say you're going to give me a job? I like to do things out of the box when I try out my cakes and so forth.
Meanwhile, in third place was Antigua and Barbuda, represented by Timoy Titus. He spoke about the journey leading up to the competition.
The start of this journey, when Shanda reached out to me to let me know that I was nominated for some awards, I was very happy, of course, but I was also quite emotional to realize that I was receiving such support from the persons who have been following my work over the years and have patronized my business. My parents have always encouraged me to follow whatever passion that I had, and so I'm grateful to them. I'm also grateful to my dearest cousin Lana, who instantly agreed to accompany me on this journey. She also owns a cake business in Antigua, and she was completely happy to just support me on this as well.
Walking home with the Baker of the Year award was Jamaica's Davio Henry, who also copped the Best Buttercream Cake and Rising Star Awards for her Bob Marley-inspired cake. She said she was astonished to be awarded Baker of the Year.
This is a surprise because I didn't know I would get this award. First of all, I'll say thank God and thank my mommy, because this specific category, I literally gave up. Mommy said, "Wake up. When I want to sleep, wake up." As I wake up, Mommy said, "Vote, vote, vote." I'm like, Jesus. But without God, my mommy, and everybody who voted, I just want to say thank you all. This is heartfelt. Being the Baker of the Year in the Caribbean, that's a big deal. I won't cry, but I'll sweat from the eyes.
The Cake Artist of the Year award went to Grenada's Raul Wickham. He also won Best Sculpted Cake and Best Wedding Cake. Wickham dedicated his awards to his children, who have been his motivation through it all.
There's so much people I have to thank tonight, but I'll just make it short. First, I have to give thanks to the Most High that gave me the strength. My support team at home, the government of Trinidad who assist me to come here to accept this award today, the fans, the people who vote me, I appreciate everyone. So thank you.
Pastry Chef of the Year went to St. Martin's Ronald Estefan, who also won the People's Choice Award.
I want to thank the Most High every time for my journey I started. Most of my work is self-taught, and I've been in this business for like 23 years now. I started very young, and I want to thank my mom for being my support system. And I have a son, Nehemiah. If I don't get home with this award, I have problems. So I dedicate this award to him.
Taking home the Best Bake Shop of the Year award was BVI's LSL Bake Shop of Virgin Gorda. Siblings Leslie and Lestine dedicated the award to their mother, Mrs. Serene Maduru, who has been ill for some time.
All right, so thank you so much for this incredible honor. We are truly humbled and grateful to be standing here as the winner of the Best Bake Shop Award in this awesome competition. First and foremost, I would like to thank God, because without Him, nothing is possible. We would like to dedicate this award to the lady who has started this legacy some 35 years ago, our matriarch, Mrs. Serene Maduru. That's the S in LSL, Leslie Serene Lestine. She has been sick since 2021, so we have tried to continue her legacy.
The other awardees included Best Cupcake Design, awarded to Beverly Julian of Grenada. Best Cookie Art, which went to St. Vincent's Michelle Babor. Best Learning Experience, which was shared between St. Martin's Tatiana Gibbs and Trinidad's Vishana Jaimangal. And Best Cake Supply Store, which also went to Jaimangal. Also receiving awards were Chef McGarvey Thompson of the BVI, who received a Lifetime Achievement Award, and Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, who received a Thank You Appreciation Award, which was accepted by the Junior Minister of Tourism in his absence. The competition featured chef and reality TV star Yolanda Gamb, who was one of the 3 judges in the competition. She said she was impressed by the performances of the contestants.
So what makes me so happy about this event is finally that cake is included. As it should be. I have very strong opinions about cake. I think there's always a time for cake. And I think that cake and baking brings people together, as it should. And I want to say that I'm so impressed with all of the competitors. I mean, what people don't know about cake decorating is it takes not only creativity, that's very obvious, but it takes patience and it takes perseverance. There's a lot that goes wrong when you're trying to control food. It doesn't always agree with you, and especially when you're working in this type of heat. So I commend you all for your hard work. It is so appreciated and valued, and I hope you will continue, because practice makes perfect.
Also judging was Chef Natasha DeBourg, an accomplished chef with several outstanding accolades in the culinary industry. She too expressed that she was awed by the competition and pleased to see such a competition occurring right here in the Caribbean.
I just want to say it's a real pleasure to be here amongst the Caribbean. Firstly, I want to thank the founder, Shanda, for her hard work and dedication that she have put into this. From the very beginning, when Shanda reached out to me and said she wanted to do it, and I know that everything she had encountered along the way, I knew as a woman, I wanted to be present to support her. So firstly, I just want to say, Shanda, you did a tremendous, excellent job. That what you have here now, behind the scenes, it makes it look perfect. To all the competitors who took part in the competition, I want to say it was an honor to be among you all, seeing what it is the Caribbean have to offer.
Last but not least was the organizer of the competition, Mrs. Shanda Glasgow. She described the journey as a difficult one, but said thanks to her sponsors and all who contributed, the awards show became a reality and was indeed a success.
The journey from this was not easy.
shed some tears, sleepless nights. For this whole week, starting from Monday before my bakers came in, it was a challenge. And this was not an easy challenge. I have came up with a lot of blockage, and every time there was a challenge, I would go before the Father and I would tell him, this is your vision, and I know you're not going to leave me here hanging. I said, I need a door to open for every situation. I asked him for an open door. And just when I was about to give up and say, babe, I can't do this anymore, you know, just done with this, there would be a message, there would be a call, and then there would be sponsors. And it's like, my bakers can tell you that I'm here.
Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
And viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. Like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Jacko Wooding, and I will see you again next week. So have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.